So thanks to the spaghetti joke, I have no slides. No, it's fine. The first slide is black on purpose because I'm going to start this with a question. The question is, what's the future of Plone? Well, it's maybe a little too broad of a question because Plone 6 is great, isn't it? Like it is. It is. We heard about all the new features this morning during the keynote and other talks. What's the future of Plone 6 in the front end, though? Why am I asking this question if Plone 6 is great already? Yes, we can build cool features on old technology stacks most of the times. And we did. Plone 6.1 is packed with new amazing features, as we saw. But how old is the current front-end stack? Does anybody know? Well, except for Victor and maybe the creator of it. Almost 10 years. And 10 years is maybe not too much for us, for you, but we're talking JavaScript, and we're talking shiny web interfaces here. So 10 years is a lot. And I was there 3,000 JavaScript years ago when Volto 1.0 was released. It was released in 2018, actually. Volto in 2018 it had a lot of values, a lot of passion, had a lot of core ideas like this guy. It just needed like an extra superpowers injection. So we, as a community, worked on it. And we did a lot of cool extra things on those. We did blocks, we did control panels, we did a lot of things. And we are building more and more things here. As I said, Plone 6.1 is a proof of it, is a great example. So Volto from, I don't know, 2021, 2022 has been packed with a lot of cool features, and more has come since then. So thank you, Cap, because we did a lot of things with that. But what I think is, it's time to rethink Volto. It's time for current Volto as a monolith, as I like to quote Victor here because I like that, to do the last move as Cap, which is this one. So that's Volto 2025, because it's still Captain America, right? So come on, it's still Cap. But yeah, I mean, things are changing in the front-end world. And you probably saw Victor's talks already and other talks, and we need to keep moving forward. So we had a client come to us earlier this year with some requests for a new thingy. And they wanted a website, so they have a tourism facing, like clientele-facing website. And they wanted to build something very specific for tourists. So they wanted something specifically for mobile users that had like a native look and feel. And with PWA support, why not? Maybe also offline thingies in the future. Since they're like targeting tourists, it needed to be multilingual. Sure, have good performance and a good UX, of course. It needs to be accessible. And since it was so specific, and as with every project that we face, the budget is limited, it didn't really need dynamic routes. It didn't really need the whole Plone package. They needed specific things, specific pages. But all of these, while they also loved a tourism website's Volto theme that we had and that we were selling other clients as well. So they said we kind of want to use Plone and your tourism theme to manage our content, but we want the shiny website for the users. And that clicked in my mind. So because this looks like a Plone project, like definitely, like almost all those features, but also doesn't really look like a Volto project. So coming to the topic of this talk, that's where we brought our own frontend. As we have seen, so what did we do? As we have seen in Victor's talk, Vite, for example, is already widely used in the JavaScript community and will very likely be the default tooling for future Plone. So we used Next.js instead. Because limited budget, that's what we knew already, and we needed to get that thing done and finish the project in a quite short time frame. But this also, after a few discussions with Victor, led to this whole new Plone 7 story. And this was perfectly fitting with the whole new API first Plone idea that was already discussed today. But before that, a few extra info on what we did. So how do we address the client requests? So they wanted a native look and feel, and we started with a custom design that looked like that, with the usual menu bar on the bottom and everything that looks like a native mobile application. We could, since it was not so dynamic, build a full layout from scratch, since we started everything from scratch in a fresh Next.js application. And I kind of felt it was faster for us to deliver a fully custom theme starting from scratch instead of customizing Volto for this specific project. So we did some custom layouts, and I'm going to show example code and things. It doesn't really matter that you read all of it. It's just examples. But this is code from the actual application. And then that native look and feel you also have when you change pages. So when you click things, transitions are there, animations are there, right? Not a lot of it, because maybe sometimes it's too much, but they're there. So we used Framer Motion as a library, and we had animated route changes. As I said, we didn't want too many animations. So we had a project with, this is the layout of the code. So we had a few specific routes that were the topmost, the most important ones. And then a catch-all route for all the leaf content of the website. And that leaf content always has an animation sliding in from the right with an animated route that we did with Framer Motion, which is this one. It's actually pretty simple. Anytime you render a new route with this, you're just animating and rendering this all over again and animating the thing. And it looks quite nice. And then we created a Next.js layout with this, which is pretty simple and straightforward. And that was it. And I have a video of this later. And to address the other thing it was the PWA thing. So PWA is interesting. It's been tried in Volto a few years ago. And it's not there as a feature. Not saying it's not doable. It's very likely doable in Volto. And I doing PWA in Next.js is installing Next PWA and setting for 2 or, I don't know, whatever configuration you need, but the defaults are fine. So I was yeah, I like that more than having to do things and customizing things in Volto. And this also opens the maybe new feature of offline first experience that the client said they might want in the future. Who knows? And also, I snuck multilingual thingies in there. There's another Next.js library that allows you to do multilingual applications, and it is really pretty straightforward as well. That was a little bit of a challenge, but that's not really important here, because multilingual thing is like Volto is good at multilingual websites. So this is less important to me for this talk. So to summarize, a few of the things that we used for this, you have heard people talking about it already today, and it's like we use the new Plone client library. We use the new Plone providers library, which provide several Plone features to your application. We use the new Plone components thingy for the accessibility goal that we have, and also because we didn't want to mess with semantic UI and all that old stuff. And why not? We went with like Tailwind CSS because that was faster for us, and TypeScript because you should use TypeScript, full stop. And we achieved that with just these few new packages. And actually, they were released, and they're not in alpha anymore. I think all of those, well, of course, Tailwind and TypeScript are not. I mean, our own packages. They have proper releases now. And then we have performance. It's you can get a Volto site to be performant, yes. But starting from scratch allowed us to cut the editing experience completely from our application, because they actually wanted to use our proper theme for Plone editing, like from editing through Plone. And all the new JavaScript frameworks, this is not just a Next.js thingy, have like static routing, file system-based routing most of the times, is optimized pretty well out of the box. So this helped a lot. And we could, like, given all the premises, we could like use all of these features and achieve very good results with little to no optimization work. Talking accessibility, this has been said today already. But I want to add one thing. So Plone components, yes, it uses React Area components as a library. I want to say it again, it's very good for accessibility. And also, React Area actively helps you with accessibility. This is one thing I haven't found often in other libraries, because it logs warnings when you're doing bad things. When you're missing area labels, when you're missing titles for things, it logs warnings for you. And so it helps. It helps a lot, actively helps. And then we have the dynamic routes. Yes, I know I mentioned we didn't need that. But then again, the client at some point said, you know what would be good? What if we had a section of the application where we can just create pages with Volto? Because, yeah, we tried it. It's kind of good. So can we do that? I was like, oh, sure. Yes, of course. There were budget discussion, but that's off topic here. But then I had another discussion with Victor, and a few things came in really helpful. So we did that, actually. Plone blocks and Plone registry are two amazing new things. Well, Plone registry has been there for a while, actually. But it's in its new shape, it's really solid. And that allowed us to render like blocks that our client created on pages, like freely without restrictions. And that's the only thing that we use that for. But you know, Plone registry can do a lot of things. So we actually have pages with proper pages with blocks, with images, with whatever, listing blocks. I have a little demo of the thing. Hopefully I can, yes. It's just a quick video where I browse the thing. So there's a map, there's geolocation of the user. I didn't mention that because geolocation can be done in Volto pretty easily. But I wanted to showcase more or less the more like native look and feel with animation, things moving around. There's this wish list, so user can like bookmark whatever they want, and so every time you open a leaf content, you get this animation sliding in from the right, and this is, I think we did kind of a good job in achieving the native look and feel here. And there's, as I said, there's the best of both worlds here, where the main routes of the application, which are the ones in the bottom navigation menu, are fully static, so fully optimized automatically by the framework, while leaf content is dynamic, so a little less optimized from time to time. That is work for like our future selves to optimize that. And then we have more than one language, but that's probably a video that's too long for that. It's sometimes in the future in this video. It's a lot of features there. So we delivered this, and it's actually going live in the next few days for everybody. And I was like, what if? Because this was not in my mind when I had the first requests, the first round of requests for the client. But when dynamic pages were there, I was like, this is not far from a full Plone website. Like, I have pages with all the blocks. What am I missing? Right. Mostly nothing. Very few things, like the search page, maybe sitemaps, maybe are the things that are not automatically, like, they're not content. So, but like everything else was mostly there. So I did that because why not? I did something. So I put in the abstract of the talk online, I said I would show up with a template to use to do what we did. Then Plone 7 roadmap happened, Victor's work happened, a lot of talks happened, sprints happened. I kind of shifted to preparing a template for the full Plone end user experience, not just a template to do a few of the cool things that we did. So the template's not ready. So I didn't come here with a template, but I'm here with a promise, which is we can run Plone in Next.js. How do you create your project? Well, this is how you will create your project when the full template is ready, which is the standard create Next app with a custom template of ours. And this will be it. Like, you create that, and the goal is to have a full only end user facing, if you want, only anonymous user facing, but a full website. And I have a quick demo that I recorded of what we have now, which is like a very simple. So there's a website with some content. This is classic UI. Okay. And what's interesting here is I opened the network tab to show you what happens during navigation, which is nothing. Which is just like one document request and no XHR, no weird other things happens. So this is me navigating a Plone website with blocks on Next.js, built on Next.js. This is the like proper dynamic navigation menu and proper rendering of blocks with all the registry and all those things. And this was like this is like, to me, maybe it's because I built it, some of it with Victor doing the rest of the work. This is very exciting to me. This is a very exciting future to me for everything that we can achieve in performance, new features, shiny bubbles, and Hello Kitty somewhere in the corners, whatever you want. So you might think this is going to create, like, the template that I'm working on is creating a very complex Next.js project. And in fact, this is the project the template is creating. Like, just a basic layout and the basic catch-all page that renders whatever Plone is giving you for your like get content query that you're doing. And the configuration index just to like start the registry and do its own things. And what about the Next.js configuration? The Next.js configuration is this. We will have a Plone/Next.js package exporting everything you need. And you will just write your like proper Next.js configuration wrapped in a function call that will inject everything that we need. That means loading add-ons with the registry that already works, and everything else that the registry can do. And also, I don't know, rewrites if you want to deploy on Vercel, that's done already. And we'll see what the future brings us. So this template will give you one thing, well, a few things. The first and most important is, as I said, the configuration registry with full add-ons support. That means the idea of building a Plone site will not change too much. You're going to build a theme add-on. You're going to build I don't know, a policy add-on. You want to build an add-on with views for your custom content types. Whatever you're doing today, it's most likely what you'll be doing, 99% what you'll be doing in the future. The only thing that will change is like the framework that serves, that builds all of it, and of course some configuration package for it. So that means having the registry and everything. It means you're going to have blocks. You're going to have slots. Actually, my demo already uses slots. You're going to have fully dynamic routes. This is still work in progress, but we have a plan. And also, dynamic theme loading from registry is one of the newest features of Volto. This is not there yet, but it's coming. I mean, once the registry is working, and it is working, everything else is a matter of like, it's an implementation detail. So you might ask, how do I get this? The answer is you don't yet. As I said, I'm here with the promise. But there's one thing you can do. You want to try it? You know Next.js, maybe you don't, and you want to try to do the Next.js tutorial, but with the Plone backend, whatever. There's a pull request for this. Feel free to like clone that, play with that, give feedback, share your ideas. I'm going to do whatever I want anyway. No, I'm kidding. Give your ideas, give your feedback, because this is important. Have you used Next.js? Give your feedback. You never use Next.js, give your feedback, because most people coming from Volto 18 or 19 or whatever it will be won't have used Next.js in the past. So their feedback is like maybe even more important on like on onboarding. I want to start using this. Yeah, that's it. Thank you for your attention.
Thanks, Piero. Hey, everyone. Anyone have any questions about the talk?
It was intimidating, wasn't it?
No, actually, I would like to try this on a sprint. Basically, okay, let's pick one Plone site, a random one, and try to implement with Next.js just to see how easy or hard it is. Are you up to mentoring me to do this?
We can try for sure.
Okay,
Yes.
perfect.
Start with the simple Plone site, please. I
Yes,
haven't
of
tested
course,
like
of course.
the old add-ons. I haven't tested yet.
No,
with the registry.
Simple thing.
But yeah.
Okay.
So your website, like which you developed, is it like static of the only the view, or does it support the edit also?
I
Like,
I didn't hear it. Can you?
okay, so your website, like which
Yes.
you build in Next.js, does it support the edit mode or only it shows the view mode? Like you have
Only
the block,
view, only the view mode. Yes.
only the
yes,
view,
yes.
and then you are like how you are eliminating the code of the edit mode. Like, do you importing the edit view also, or only like the view mode?
I'm not sure I understood the question. So let me try and answer this. The editing experience of the website is all still in Volto.
Mhm.
That's all. They have a separate Volto deployment that they use for editing the thing. We kind of did a little bit of matching of the styles of some blocks, just so they were like aware of what they were doing without switching back and forth too much. But there isn't like a plain Volto site for all the editing experience.
So basically, you are rendering the blocks using the render blocks component or
Yes,
something,
we are-
right?
we are-
Like into the view,
yes,
right?
yes.
But it also contains the code of the edit also part for the blocks, right? Like I also tried. Like we can talk later. Like I also tried the same thing.
Okay.
So that like you have a fully editable website somewhere else, and for an anonymous user, you can just get the contents and only show the blocks with
Yes.
the existing CSS, and you do not have to get all the codes for all the CMS. It's just for the anonymous user.
Exactly. Just viewing the blocks is what we do. Yes, nothing related to code for editing blocks or editing anything. Actually, no control panels. Nothing is
Yeah.
being served to the
To the
anonymous
users.
users there. Yes.
So, any more questions? So, thank you, Piero, very
Thank you.
much. Thank you, everyone. And a round of applause for Piero, please.